campaign to help keep you guys safe, because that's what we're really worried about. We want to help you guys make good decisions. You're welcome. Last year, we had an assembly where we brought in a young man who had been texting and driving. For those juniors and seniors, you remember that last year. It was pretty good. This year, we wanted to bring in somebody to talk with you about a concern that we have every bit as serious. And that's pornography. Yeah. We kind of laugh and joke about it, and it's kind of funny. I've made jokes about it too. But as you guys are well aware, okay, give me attention. As you guys are well aware, pornography is an issue, especially with our youth going on right now. You've all probably seen it. You've looked it up. You've seen. Come on. You do have to be a little grown up to have this conversation, which is actually why I like what Clay and Pam have for you today. They're not going to pull any punches. They're not going to tell you a religious view of it, one way or another. They're going to give you kind of the science behind it and help you make good decisions when it comes to pornography. So I want you to pay attention, but I want you to be mature with this as we go too. Have a good conversation with them. So without me talking anymore, we're going to turn the time over to Clay and Pam.
There they are. Okay, guys, we're excited to be here. You know, when we go around to the schools and talk about this, we're trying to concentrate. We do. No, and when we got the call to come down to Sunny St. George, we were just excited. We're up north, and we like the heat. So thanks for having us. We are here representing an organization called Fight the New Drug, and we're going to talk to you guys about a topic that is not easy. There you go. And then we're going to want to kind of go through this together, and I promise you we won't make it awkward. We're just going to talk about the reality of it. But I want to ask you a question first. Who here has ever thought to themselves, I wish I had more rules? Or I wish I had more people in my life trying to tell me what to do. Anybody? A couple of you. Somebody else say no? No. Not a lot of us, right? Why is that? Because we like our freedom. We like to be able to think in our own way, do what we want, not get pushed around. Right? Does anybody ever feel like people are trying to take away your freedoms? I do. Well, the good news to that is that, guys, you have a choice in the matter. You have the ability to choose, all because you guys have one of these cool things called a brain. Alright? Now, who here has a brain? Be honest. I actually see quite a brain that did not go up. No. Everybody's got a brain. Everybody has the ability to choose. It's given us free. Sometimes, though, we don't always make great decisions with this brain, and sometimes we do things that just hurt it, like that. Or shoot. This is the helmet, guys. This is the worst. Come on. I added the sound effects for This is just stupid. I don't know what is it. Good luck.
Check this out. Choosing to use alcohol and drugs, if the government wants to show you that, it will. Wants it.
There we go.
Guys, choosing to use alcohol and drugs takes away your freedom and your ability to choose. And it's true. In fact, we sat down with a friend of ours, Nat, who lives up in Alpine, Utah, and we did a little video. He told us about how using drugs took away his freedom and just messed up his life. So take a look at this.
Let's see if this works. Come on. There we go.
basically a lot of stuff that I felt I wanted to express. And for me, a lot of it came from, different ideas that I had and started putting together. And I'm like, that's cool. I want to do something like that. A lot of music that I've written has been just from my personal experiences, a lot of angst or frustration, and also some of the releasing things. A lot of it's actually kind of worked more towards addiction, because I've struggled as an asthmatic with drugs and these other things. And so a lot of the message and things that I was writing had to do specifically with addiction. I got into drugs basically, a lot of it was just kind of have fun. I had this attitude that we only live life once, so I might as well experience everything I can. And so I did that. Just started out, just trying out pot, and then moved over to other things like LSD and some of the harder stuff. And it's kind of this downward spiral, because the harder the stuff you do, the harder the come down is too. And then the crappier you feel, and then the more you want more of it. And it's just it's progressively worse. I totally went off where I just was trying to be high all the time. Dropped out of school. Of course, my family, parents are concerned about me. Even my friends or users were concerned about me, because I was, over the top with just wanting this escape. And eventually it just caught up to me, crushed me, and took me a while to apply.
All right, guys. So maybe you guys know somebody like Matt that's had a drug addiction.
See Lindsay.
That's my wife, by the way. Huh?
You're not Lindsay.
So guys, like I was saying, maybe you know somebody like Matt that's been addicted to drugs. But have you ever stopped and thought about what is addiction? What is addiction? Like, I can tell you right now, it doesn't come because, sorry, can't hear me? It doesn't come because maybe you're weak or you just can't hack it. I mean, there's actually a scientific explanation to why addictions happen.
Now, we don't want to bore you guys, so we're not going to. We're going to just whiz through this, but everybody who has a brain, which is, we defined earlier, everybody, has what we call the reward pathway in the brain, and the reward pathway consists of all these things that we're not going to even start to pronounce. But it doesn't matter, we're just going to call it the reward pathway. When you do something good, guys, something that makes you happy, this pathway is triggered, or it's activated, and chemicals are released from that body, pleasure chemicals like dopamine or opiates. And when you get those chemicals released, you feel good, and it makes you want to repeat that behavior.
Right, but here's the trick, right? So those chemicals get released when you're doing cool stuff, like you're riding down a roller coaster, or you're rocking out to your favorite band. But those same chemicals get released when you're not doing cool stuff, like taking drugs. In fact, the chemicals in drugs force your brain to activate that reward pathway, like Clay said. So that's basically what getting high is. So you feel good while those chemicals are being put in your body, but then you come down. You don't feel good. And all you can think about is how you felt when you're putting those chemicals in your body. So you use again and again and again, and before long, your addicted is high.
Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, well, you feel good, so what's the harm in that? Right? Well, two things. One, you're not releasing those chemicals into your brain naturally. And number two, you're flooding your brain with those, so that after a while, if you continue that, the things that you used to love, like hanging out with your friends, or even, well, I don't know how much you guys do snowboarding down here, but you probably go up north and you snowboard or mountain board. It just doesn't do it for you anymore. It doesn't do it for you anymore, because it's not enough. You see, you start choosing drugs over your friends because you have to feel that high, and you don't have a choice in the matter. Now, over time, if you continue this, if you keep going, the frontal lobes of your brain, guys with addiction, can actually shrink. And we had a brain scan here to show you what that looks like if you keep using drugs. And alcohol is shrinking right on the top.
Look closely.
Guys in the back of the room. It's kind of subtle, but okay. Now, for real, what are the frontal lobes? of your brain. What is that? Well, the frontal lobes of your brain are located, just like the name suggests, in the front part of the brain, right there. And this is the decision-making area of the brain. So this is where you will make decisions. This is where you think logically. And so what does it mean when you get addicted? It means that you lose control. You can't think straight. So it's not about being weak or strong or tough. Science has proven that when you choose to use drugs and alcohol, you're choosing to lose your freedoms, you're choosing to lose your ability to choose, all because you let a chemical control your life.
Yeah, and guys, we actually haven't always known this information. It's relatively new.
Somewhat new, yeah.
Yeah, I mean within like the last 50 years. Let's take tobacco, for example, right? So tobacco hasn't always been seen as this really harmful and addictive substance, surprisingly. In fact, advertising campaigns used to talk about how cool and how healthy and good cigarettes were.
This was like 50 years ago, using doctors saying, hey guys, this is okay. More doctors smoke cannabis. This is back when we just didn't know. Science hadn't caught up with truth yet. And people were just saying, look, new scientific evidence on the effects of smoking, saying that Chesterfield is good for you.
Chesterfield.
And here's the commercial we just had to show you. It's too funny.
What cigarette do you smoke, doctor? Tens of thousands of doctors in all branches of medicine, in all parts of the country, were asked that question. What cigarette do you smoke, doctor? The brand named most was Camel. Yes, surveys show more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette.
Smoke Camel, the cigarette so many doctors enjoy.
I gotta hear that every time because we know how roundabout sounds now. For the time, that was a pretty serious ad. You know, the tobacco companies, they wanted to convince us all that it was, in fact, healthy. But we didn't always know that until this guy right here, Dr. Raymond Pearl. He was the first guy, and this is a black and white picture, right, boring, we're going to just speed through this. Black and white picture of Dr. Raymond Pearl. He was the first guy to link lung cancer to tobacco. First guy to ever make that connection. And the tobacco companies were massive at the time, so they didn't want, it's not good when you find out that your product kills people, or it just isn't good on sales. So they squashed it. They were like, no way. We're gonna, and so for 15 years, this research never saw the light of day. But 15 years later, finally it hit the public eye, and so they had to, fight back. So they launched, like we showed you kind of some of those ads, trying to convince us that it's healthy. Now, why would they do that? Well, guys, the tobacco companies, they wanted you to try it because they knew it was addictive. If they could get you to try it, they knew you'd come back for more. If you come back for more, they're going to sell more. If they sell more, they're going to make more money, and it is all about money. See, they don't care about your health, they just want your money. That's how it goes.
Well, guys, and so here's the truth. Advertising and the pressures that you feel from people around you, they're not going to go away. I mean, there's always going to be people, there are going to be companies or whatever that are going to try to take that freedom away from you and tell you what to do. There's always going to be that. So that's why you have to use those brains of yours, most of you, because you feel good to make a choice. A choice to be free and a choice to stay away from those things that take away your freedom. So let's talk about this next slide.
Let's see.
Okay, so real quick, guys. Here's a little fact that you probably didn't know. Not all addictions come from chemicals that you put in your body. I'll say that again, think about this. Not all addictions come from chemicals that you put in your body. So you have to drink it, sniff it, smoke it, inject it, or whatever, in order for it to be an addiction or a drug. In fact, guys, the real reason that Clay and I are here today to talk to you is to talk about something you probably have to consider to be a drug or an addiction. And that's pornography. It's true.
Can't move this way.
Am I alive?
No, we're just move over a little bit. Okay, so pornography is a drug. But wait a second, you don't snuff it, just like cancer. You don't sniff it, you don't smoke it, you don't inhale it. So how does that work? Well, okay, guys, remember the reward pathway we talked about? Shouldn't be too surprising when we realize this. This is kind of new information. That when you, just like doing drugs, when you do pornography, that same reward pathway is activated and those chemicals are released into your brain. And so, he's right that you don't do those, but you don't sniff and smoke it. It goes into the iris. And it triggers that release of chemicals into the brain like dopamine, serotonin, epinephrine, oxytocin. I'm sure you are well acquainted with each one of those. No, but those are released. And so you got to understand that when it comes to the brain, addiction is addiction. It doesn't matter if it's heroin, cocaine, tobacco, or pornography. The effects on the brain are the exact same. So what we're saying, guys, is that pornography is in fact drug-like, and it can lead to an addiction. Now here's what Matt has said on this one.
And one of the things I found is, of course, you treat with pornography is, the high, natural high rush that you get from images and seeing those things. Of course, I would not consider pornography to be an addiction. But what I found is that as I would, look at more and indulge in that, a lot of the patterns that I was starting to have were similar to, added patterns. It wasn't until after I got married and had a lot of these things came together that I realized that I was having a problem similar to the problem I had with drugs. I don't know how to describe other than it was an eye-opener for me to realize how much of an addiction this actually can be. The most difficult thing about it was, unlike drugs, I couldn't just detox. I couldn't just change my environment or friends or anything like that. Triggers were now everywhere, and and a lot of these things were seared in my mind, and I could tell the difference that it made in my perception and my thinking that were absolutely identical to the challenges I had with drugs. At the time, I had no idea how much it was really affecting my marriage and our relationship in so many ways. Really involved my family and my children. And that's when I realized I had to kind of approach it a lot more aggressively and treat it like a drug. And it's a fight. You gotta actually fight it.
So you hear that works, okay. So guys, that's why we're here today. Sorry, I feel like I'm having a tough time with this light. Is that my fault? Am I just going in the darkness? The reason we're here to talk to you guys is you guys are in a place in your life where you can make that choice, where you can make that stand. We didn't know this information 20 years ago. You adults didn't understand this, or they weren't educated on this. You guys are at that point in your life where you can decide where you stand and take a stand.
Let's go to the next slide. So yeah, we represent an organization called Fight the New Drug now, and we are here to educate you guys on the harmful effects of pornography for two main reasons. One, because it's kind of new information, and number two, because not everyone is as lucky as Matt. And even Matt, who overcame successfully addiction to drugs and pornography, he's going to be dealing with a lot of those things his whole life. And there's still some freedoms that he'll just never get back, ever. So
again, like I said, guys, that's why you need to take a stand now. And Clay's going to tell you real quick here about a story about Sesame Street. Have you guys heard about that?
Well, here's what. Did you guys hear about Sesame Street?
Sounds like you're excited to hear about that.
Sesame Street got hacked. Their YouTube channel got hacked. This was just recently, and they replaced all the videos with pornography. Even this one right here.
That's good enough for me. Yes.
He showed you the clean version.
That's my favorite one, by the way. So
no, why would they do that, guys? Why would they infiltrate the Sesame Street audience? Well, guys, the answer to that is the same as it was for tobacco. And you see what we're starting to say is that there is an industry centering around addiction. The tobacco industry and the porn industry, they want you to try it. They approach this audience, the Sesame Street audience, because they know that it's addictive, and they're a big business. They're a $97 billion industry, and they know that if they can expose it to you enough, you may just take once and they do it 100 times, but you're gonna get addicted. At some point, you're gonna get addicted, and the earlier they can get you, hence the Sesame Street crowd, or the earlier they can get you, the longer that they're going to have a paying, loyal customer. See, if they can get you earlier, if they can get you, they're going to spend billions of dollars to try to get you, and if they do, they make a lot of money, a ton of money. So that's why they're going to be coming after you every time.
So what do you guys think the average age of exposure is to online pornography? What do you guess?
16?
16?
90?
Yeah. Okay, wait, I heard it over here. I heard it over here, 11 years old. Guys, that's way younger than you guys.
And 9 out of 10, if we were to divide this class, this auditorium into 10 parts and get 90% of you guys to stand up, 9 out of 10 youth ages 8 to 16 have been exposed to it. This is a way younger audience than you guys. So definitely, just like your principal said, we're dealing with it. It's something that is a part of the culture, and we got to deal with it.
So here's another one. How about this? The largest group of internet porn viewers is youth between the ages, I promise I can read, 12 to 17. So again, just kind of proving our points again that you guys are right in that age group. You're right at that target age.
And girls who think, well, this is a guy's problem, tune out. Well, recent statistics show that 30% of addicts are now women. So that is a number that's skyrocketed. So do you see how this isn't just an adult problem, guys? This isn't just something that adults are dealing with. And the industry, they're targeting you guys. And I'd say they're doing a pretty good job of getting you guys to stumble across it. And here's a video, guys. Wait, if I can pause that. No? Can we go back up there? Just push it back. This is your student by president, right? Let's push it back. Can you go up there? Okay, appreciate that. So we're going to show you this video that your student body officers made. Turn up the volume too so they can hear it.
Good afternoon, Israels. I'm DK Cummings. Today we're going to focus on a topic that affects us all, pornography. It's being called the new drug. And in this video, we're going to learn ways to avoid it. And to help us with that, we're going to have Judge Mills' exec counsel give some tips.
Alright, to start off, I'd like to tell you about how
pornography is addicting and can ruin relationships with your friends and your family.
how pornography can be a negative.
Pornography can only hurt you. There's nothing good that comes out of doing it.
Okay, there's abuse tips.
Anyone has to know that there's a way to fight pornography. And to do that, you have to realize that porn is a drug.
You can make a difference. Become a fighter.
You can fight it. You have the power.
Pornography can be...
Sorry, I got the cord.
Brennan, it's on porn.
You are not alone. There are people who want to help you.
That's awesome. Give it up for your student officers. That was awesome. Guys, we talked about the reward pathway and how, just like drugs, viewing pornography releases those same chemicals into your brain. We talked about how the industry is targeting you. But let's just for a second talk about how those two things combined create a lethal combination. Now we sat down with one of our friends, Dr. Pat Love, who is probably the coolest old lady that we know. And she's a nationally renowned therapist and author, and she talked about this specifically. Check it out.
One of the areas you don't often hear mentioned, it's almost like you don't bring it up in polite conversation, is adolescence and pornography. And we know it's prevalent. We know that young children are seeing pornography. It's frightening at how young our children are seeing pornography. What is especially frightening about this experience in the emerging brain, and a brain that's still formulating and organizing, is that it changes your sexual set point. It changes your sexual expectations. It changes the stimulation point. It alters your brain in a way that makes you crave more stimulation. You know, if you just think about the fact that our brain has to have stimulation. That's how it gets organized. We love stimulation. We love novelty. We love being entertained. We love anything shiny that's moving and it's interesting and makes us curious. We love that. You know, that's part of human nature. But if you add the sexual stimulation to that, it can be like crack cocaine with your brain. And we don't realize how dangerous it is. As parents, as adolescents, we have to realize what we're doing to our brain, how we're changing it. We're changing it in some ways forever. This is a wonderful instrument, this brain we've been given. And to alter it in that way, you want to do it with consciousness, not just abandonment. You know, it's so accessible, it's so anonymous, it's so addictive. I mean, it is really so much more lethal that we have now a generation of adults who just can't be satisfied or pleased or happy with real life relationships. No one can compete with the constant stream of novelty. And you don't realize how you got there. You got there gradually. Sometimes it started innocently with a normal curiosity, but that can be, again, like crack cocaine, changing your brain forever.
All right, guys, so just like Pavlov said, pornography, it rewires your brain. It robs you of freedom, and it robs your natural ability to feel satisfied. So you crave more and more of that stimulus, and then it drives you deeper and deeper into addiction. And like she said, you become less satisfied with your relationship, with your friends. I mean, that's huge. Your family, just the normal, everyday things in life. I mean, I can't tell you how many people come up to Clay and I and tell us about their story about their addiction to pornography and how it led them to do things that they never thought that they would do. I mean, in some cases, even led them to prison. And I know what you guys are saying. You're saying to yourself, hey, that's them, it's not me, I'm totally in control. And that's true, it's not you. But the second you open that door to porn, it could be you. You gotta think about that.
Now, research guys have shown that even upon the very first exposure to pornography, that your brain chemistry actually starts to change. It literally starts to rewire itself. Now, we didn't always know that. Guys, 10 years ago, this was just a kind of a moral discussion. Today, we're learning way more about the brain. It literally rewires itself. It's just like smoking. Guys, every puff you take gets you closer to addiction, gets you closer to a shortened lifespan and lung cancer. Why chance it? Why risk it? Well, the same applies to pornography. Except for the pornography is a memory-based drug. So you can't just detox and get clean. Those images, just like Matt said, are seared into your mind. Okay? Why chance it? Why risk it? Oh, and guys, if I get the slide that would go, let's be honest with ourselves. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in TV, it's in advertisements, it's in movies, it's in sexting.
Yeah, it's sexting, guys. It's not a harmless fun. It is pornography. And pornography addiction, guys, it makes you feel depressed. It makes you feel lonely, isolated, hopeless. I mean, it's not worth it.
Do you know why it makes you feel all those things? Because when your brain literally rewires itself, like I said, it rewires itself to make it think that that is the new normal. And so when you try to come down off it, like those chemicals have to be released. When you try to come down off of it, you start to feel those feelings of depression and worthlessness and hopelessness. Now, we need some volunteers. We need
volunteers. House lights, maybe?
Just a couple, 6 volunteers, quickly. Let's go.
Let's go.
Over here, Cam, over here. No, right here. I got one.
I need a girl. Come on, I need a girl. Come on, girl, you. You? How many is that?
Just 6. 5, 6, 7. Okay. We'll have a threesome. Okay. Whoa, guys. All right. My bad. 6 yet. I'll read it. Is there 7? Okay. Can we get 2 at a time on them? Can we get some lights up here? We don't need this back here. Just some lights up here. Cam, I need you. Right here. Cam's going to be our moderator. We're gonna do a little quiz here for. So you two.
Jaden and Braden.
Jaden and Braden. Okay, come up right here. Cam, face up here. And get. He's gonna put his hands out. You're gonna slap his hand. First one to get it gets to answer this question. I'm gonna give you a quick example. So this doesn't count. What does everyone have? Nice. Okay, so that didn't count. The winner of these, that didn't count, sorry. The winner, we're going to try to the winner gets one of these shirts. Okay? So, huge things to say here, guys. Life alternate. Okay? Here we go. When you do something good, chemicals are released into the reward pathway. Help! The reward pathway. Reward track. You know, we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. Wait, hey, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. Close, guys. Okay, name one of those chemicals. Who was it? Who was it? Okay. Name one of the chemicals that are released in the You get one chance. Hurry, hurry. All right. You got endophrine? Good job. Okay, we're going to do one more. We'll just cancel that one more. With addiction, what part of the brain can shrink? There we go. There we go. Wait a second, that was just 1 to 1, right? 1. Hurry. Here we go. Why does the porn industry target youth?
The further you start, the more you're addicted, the longer that you're paying them.
Deal. Okay, stay right here. Next two. Okay, next question. How many times do you have to see it before it can start changing your brain? Boom. Okay, once. Good job. One, zip. Do we have your names? What's your name?
I'm Maddie. Kaylee.
Okay. All right. Give me one example of how pornography can make you. Okay, what are the feelings that it can make you? That was terribly intense. Okay. Here it is. What are one of the negative feelings that you can feel? Depression. It's right there. Good job. That's 1 to 1. Guys, what's the average age of exposure?
Wrong.
11 to 17. 11 is good enough. Good job. Well done. Now all 3 of you come up here. Okay, stay right here. All 3 of you. What are your names?
Shaylee.
What's that?
Shaylee. Nita.
Jamal. Okay, come on up here. Now this is going to be harder. You hit his head. Hard. No, I'm just kidding. Just hit his head. Cam, you got his senses going here. We're just going to do, this one's a single one. Single elimination. First one to hit it, so we got to hurry, okay? Not all blank are chemicals you put in your body. Not all.
Addiction.
Okay, good job. What's your name again? Yeah, good job, guys. Okay, now Lindsay, will you go get them a shirt? And the other ones come up and talk to us afterwards, okay? Thanks for coming out. Okay, let's do this. Okay, guys. All right. Now, we've talked a lot about what the industry or what science is saying about pornography. We've talked a lot about what the experts are saying, what former addicts are saying, but what about you guys? What do you guys think? What are your peers thinking about this? We have a video here. We gathered some teams together and asked them. And this is what they said. Check it out.
Oh yeah, I love technology. It makes my day easy.
I use my computer and I use my phone all the time.
I'm always texting the ladies, of course.
Depending on like I'm doing homework, I use the internet for that, or get on Facebook, talk to friends, post pictures.
I use it every day. I don't know. I didn't have technology. I couldn't listen to music as easily without. I don't know. I love technology every day.
Well, obviously with technology, there's like so many things that could like come up, and like just because it's so open and so many people are on it, and there's so much access. And I remember being little and like having these pop up, and I have no idea what they are. Just scared that they popped up. I was just like, what the crap?
When I was just kind of that taboo word that someone says porn and you're like, oh, let's not talk about it, let's change the subject, you know?
I think I just remember a pop-up came up and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? And like, I tried to click out and just like freaking out.
And then, boom, there's a pornographic picture and you're just, you know, it's not what you wanted, but it's there.
Like, it's just something that you just cringe at. You're just kind of like, oh, why? A lot of the television shows I watch, they start off with like a lot of like things hinting towards it, and then you start watching that more and more, and you get used to it, thinking it's okay. You just kind of get immune to it, but you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be getting immune to it.
Because once you get into it, once you look at it, you get curious, it starts progressing after that. It's not good.
But I think the everyday teen is not educated enough to know it's an addiction, and that's how they end up being hooked and addicted.
They're trying so hard to get people and target people that they put it anywhere they can.
If they start while you're young, then they've got you for a long time. They've got you for life because it's an addiction.
At that age, you don't think it's going to happen, you know?
If I found out my boyfriend was looking at it, I would feel so just hurt.
Like my girlfriend?
No way, no. It made me feel uncomfortable because I feel like her intention isn't to get to know me, isn't just have, you know, fun dating.
Oh, I would never be comfortable with it. If they were doing that, I'd be so disgusted by it.
That would be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, there's no way I would date somebody that did that.
If my friends were ever looking at porn or anything, I think it would just, you know, I wouldn't be like judgmental. I'd just be like, tell them how it is.
Obviously, it's their own choice, but yeah, I care for them because they're my friends.
I think they should know what they're getting into before they get into it and how much it will affect their lives. Yeah, everyone deserves to know the truth about what it does to you and how it can hurt you.
Like how it affects the chemicals in your brain or what it does to your mindset.
You know the truth about pornography? The moment you're exposed to it, you can just be like, oh, I know what's really going on.
Just think about it. Think about your future, not what you want now. I don't think it's cool at all. And it's not respectful to other people at all either. It is so not cool, and if you ever get exposed to that, don't ever do it, or I'll let you up.
Guys, pornography is just not cool at all.
It's not cool. Pornography is not cool. Don't do it.
Like I said, it's destructive. It's not good at all, so just stay away from it.
I am a fighter, and you should become a fighter too. That's all I got.
Guys, thanks. No, guys, we talked about some pretty heavy stuff today, and there's a reason for that. It's because we're going to skip all this. It's because we're running out of time, and you're better than this. You're smarter than all that. Cam and I started this organization a few years ago, and it's very important that we got out. We just saw too many friends and families get affected by this, and we wanted to do something. So we wanted to educate people, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's why, guys, we started this movement called Fight the New Drug. And it's like I said, we're here to educate people on the harmful effects of pornography. And he said it. We've had too many friends, family, just even strangers that have been harmfully affected by it. It couldn't be prevented
all the time.
Yeah, people talk to us all the time about this. And it could have been prevented. Had they been educated? How do they know? So you guys know. That's what we want to do today, is give you that information so you guys can take a stand.
You know, we go around to different schools and we start telling this story. Because we started this up in college. You know, we were just sitting around and saying, you know what, we got to do something. And it was incredible to see the response from the youth, you know, kind of getting out there and saying, this is our message, we want to push this around. So if you're on board with that, guys, we need you to help spread it. You know, educate yourself. You can go online to our website, fightthenewdrug.org, and there's tons of stuff there.
Become a fighter, guys. That's what we call it.
Yeah, become a fighter.
Become a fighter. Thanks, guys, for having us here. If you don't remember anything else,
just remember that.
Go ahead.
Remember that pornography is a drug. You got to stay away from it to keep your freedom. Number 3, there's ways to get involved and help others. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks very much. We appreciate you coming down. Hopefully, the bell's about to ring. We'll go to 4th period. But we want you to understand that the information they presented to you is right on. It's exactly what's going on. Can you read that fast? Some of you may be thinking too, well, what do? I have an issue with this, or I've got a friend that has an issue with it, or someone in my family has an issue with it. One of the powers of pornography is the silence of pornography. For a lot of people, it's something they